Welcome back. I'm the Watch King. So a few things I've been getting. A lot of my clients also collect bullion. I've been dealing a lot more in silver and gold, mostly gold, not so much in silver. But I like silver personally. I think it's cool. And I like coins just as much as I like watches because it's history. There's a lot of, really history and a lot of events with them. So I have in my hand a bill. Now, this bill was printed in 1935. This is something called a silver certificate. So I thought to myself, this bill is cool, and I think I paid $1.50 for it for the video, and I give them out as gifts. But I said, you know what? Instead of somebody hoarding this during the Great Depression, what if they bought into the S&P 500, right? That's a very big index fund. It's the 500 companies. Now, in 1935, the S&P 500 didn't exist. I believe it was 1957 or right around there is when it first came out, this index fund. But in 1935, there was big companies like Coca-Cola and so forth. And the calculator that I used for it actually was 34 because that's what I have in the quarter. I don't have the same year. But it was the S&P 500. So that's what we're really going to use for a basis of, these two objects. So, a lot of people say cash is king. Here's an example. So $1 in 1935, we'll call it, because that's what this is you would be able to get 4 of quarters, and at the time the quarters were worth $1, right? If you adjust for inflation with the quarters, right, the quarters now are worth $6 each. The bill is, I think I paid $1.50. I give them out as gifts to certain clients and stuff. I like doing it, and to friends and family, because it's just cool. You see a blue seal, you normally don't see it. It's printed in 1935. It's, almost 100 years old. So just cool stuff, right? But it's like $1.50 to $2, these bills. And then the quarter, as I said, $6. So the $6 from a quarter to $6 sounds great, right? It sounds like it's a deal. So I said, let me see what the quarter is worth, and I did the calculation from 34 in the S&P 500. If you were to put it, as I said, it didn't exist, but if it did, theoretically, there was big companies like Coca-Cola. So actually, if you invested straight into Coca-Cola and just kept reinvesting the dividends, it would be a lot more money than what we're talking about, but I didn't do the calculation there. The quarter is $3,000. The bill is $12,000. $12,000 instead of this dollar bill that's maybe worth $1.50 to somebody like me who gives them out, right? That is insane, right? When you think of a theoretical, and then the $6 doesn't sound so great. I don't know about you, but I would rather have $3,000 than $6. I don't know, I don't know. So that just shows you, maybe, the famous saying by watchmakers, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I wanted to make this because a lot of people I'm talking to are just, either selling a lot of their stocks or panicking, and they're buying bullion. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen these people. I'm not saying these people in a bad way. It's emotional reactions. The markets are moving up and down. A lot of people are freaking out. But just remember, the market goes down 20% once every 2 years, I think it is, or so, or maybe even longer. But it goes up a lot more than that. And it's just something that happens. And I'm not a financial advisor. I want to say that I'm just looking at historical charts. You don't have to be a financial advisor to go back in the market and just look at historical charts over time. I do believe in silver. I think silver's great. It's a hard asset. Throw it in the bank. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. Or, have a little bit of it on hand. I'm not saying, sell all your silver and go to the stock market or either or. As I said, watchmaker said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have an assortment. Maybe even keep a little cash on hand, right? Just in case you need cash eventually. Even though, honestly, nowadays it's really dying out. I think they said 97% of transactions now through the world are done by credit card or debit card or a charge card in general. So cash is really dying out. but we still have it, and there are benefits, certain benefits to cash. So let me know. I thought this would be a little bit educational, right? You have 12,000 instead of $1, and then you have the quarter, which is $3,000, and that's just crazy to me to think about. Now, this calculation, I believe the website I used said all the dividends will be reinvested, and it's just the same. You don't have to no more money than this $1 in the market, and to get the 12,000. And of course, you're putting it in 1934. That's how I did the calculation. So, by now, most people have unfortunately passed away, right? But just imagine, your grandpa put $1,000 into the S&P 500 in 1957, and you find out there's a lot of money, right? So it's just a cool way to have passive income. And also here, I mean, turning a quarter into $6, it's only a magician could do that nowadays, right? Because it doesn't exist. And that's all the way. So the quarter, the trick is with the quarter, it's since 1964, really. So 1964 is when we changed off the silver standard, and we turned into the clad, which is no silver, copper. And since 1964, silver has gone up 20 times. So that's really, where you get some of the calculations, and then you have to, the actual melt value of a quarter, you can figure that out too. So, it just depends on what you got to with the silver certificate. It's a shame, it went away 1968. Imagine if we kept it, how strong a US dollar. If we kept silver, just theoretically, you could go into a nice restaurant, not nice, but let's say like a burger place or something, casual, nice restaurant, and you could probably order a burger and fries for $1, right? We really, kept up on the silver certificate, silver stand. Well, it was a gold standard originally, and then we got rid of that. But if we backed up silver with our currency, oh boy, would it be strong. It would be the strongest currency by far in the world, right? If Canada did the same, 68, they got rid of their currency, and they were one of the last ones to keep producing, from my mind, because the British were a long time ago ended. And all of these currencies right now, we're dealing with so much inflation, but just, theoretic ideas of how great our dollar would be, right? If you just think about it, and, the greed of the government. I mean, the government, I'm not blaming the government for everything. It's just, they got greedy, and they took us off the standard, and they spend money like crazy. And I make these videos just to educate, right? I don't say, going into a little bit into watches before I head out of here, but watches, I don't think are, an investment class, right? I just don't think so. I don't think art too. I mean, compared to the stock market, right? Or I think, it's good to have a little bit of everything. There's watches I know for sure that will go up over time. I have certain pieces that I don't post, stone dials specifically with Rolex, right? Referring to those type of stuff that, is they're uncracked dials. They're beautiful. They really belong almost in a museum. They're so beautiful. These are the pieces that will go up, but saying a 1603 is going to continue to go up forever. I mean, yes, it will go up with everything, like the silver quarter. This is a great example. It will go up, but I don't know how fast compared to the market or to other assets. And as a watch dealer, I just feel obligated to tell everybody, this whole spiel, because I wouldn't feel right, selling these watches and, even gold, gold and silver. I tell clients too, this is not an investment. It is a hedge against the reason gold goes up is because this keeps getting weaker. It's not really gold going up. It's the US dollar getting weaker. So you see it at an all-time high. It's because we've been printing, I think more than half of all US currency was printed in the last 3 years. Something crazy like that. That's boggles my mind. So that's just something to note, and let me know if you agree with me in the comments, or disagree. I would love to know. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.